This was Joseph Parker's Steve Hansen Lions moment. There was every reason in the world to complain, but be damned if he was going to come out a sore loser in the face of an excruciating defeat. Just like when Hansen's All Blacks were denied by some referee howlers in their stalemate 1-1 series against the British and Irish Lions last year, Parker had fair cause for complaint after copping a second-round headbutt that was ruled a knockdown and some fairly roughhouse tactics throughout in his unanimous points decision defeat to Dillian Whyte in London on Sunday. NZT, the defeat stings in so many ways. It is the second on the bounce for the 26-year-old class act of a New Zealander, and a serious setback in his previously ascendant heavyweight boxing career. It also came with a game-changing series of events working against the Kiwi Samoan. Parker lost the fight, the headline act of a superb night of boxing put together by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom organization, by 1 point on one judge's scorecard, by 3 on another's and 4 on the third. In the second round, which Parker was well on the way to winning, the New Zealander copped a count for a knockdown which replays clearly showed to be the result of a headbutt, accidental or otherwise, from Whyte. That was a 3-point turnaround, and even putting aside the fact that Parker was almost certainly disoriented and displaced by the illegal blow, Whyte's camp claimed they felled him with a left hook that led to him falling into a clash of heads. The scoring alone was dramatically skewed by that one act. But Parker steadfastly refused to reach into the excuse bag after his defeat. That, simply, is not the sort of man he is, just as Hansen was not going to cry into his beer about the most bizarre referee decision turnaround seen in Test history at Eden Park. There are no bitter feelings from our team, said Parker when asked about the fateful second round. We did our best, I did my best, I didn't follow the game plan but we lived to fight another day. He won today, and congratulations to him. Asked if the first knockdown was because of a punch-a-head clash, Parker said, "From the advice I was given from the team, the first knockdown was a headbutt and the second a punch. Things really did not go Parker's way." His journey to the stadium ended up taking 2 hours because of the nasty traffic jam, and the night before the fight he was awakened at 4:25 a.m. when a guest in his hotel set off the fire alarm whilst taking a sneaky cigarette. Of the traffic snarl up, he said, "We nearly got out and walked to the stadium. It might have been quicker. But, again, no excuses, things happen." Parker's trainer Kevin Barry was, however, prepared to shoot from the hip over that second round knockdown, resulting in a 10-8 round for Whyte. "It's a round we were winning, and it went from being a 10-9 round to us to a 10-8 round to Dillian. I think the effects of that headbutt were suffered in rounds 3 and 4. Joe just wasn't himself, and it wasn't till the 5th round he had everything going again. He was dazed from that and shocked when he came back to the corner. We knew Dillian was a real physical guy, and I expected him to bring out the best in Joe. I'm very proud of him, the way he dug deep in the later rounds and came back and was an inch away from winning the fight. It's a great fight for the fans. And we needed a war like that." Asked if Whyte should have had a point dictated for some roughhouse tactics, Barry also unloaded, "I thought he should have had several points deducted. I'm a little pissed actually. I talked to Ian John Lewis about it before the fight, and said we're not after any favors, but let's make it a fair fight. We know this guy is going to punch after the bell, we know he's going to hit Joe in the back of the head, what are you going to do about it? We know he's a dirty fighter and they're his tactics and they worked for him." He cautioned him a couple of times, but of course he should have had points taken off. Promoter David Higgins was equally rueful. Joseph is not one to talk about stuff like this, but he said his head caught him behind the ear and shook the balance and equilibrium. "I've watched all his fights and something didn't seem quite right. There are no excuses. Dillian came in as a bully and was tough, and for Joe to hang in there through those middle rounds and nearly win it at the end for me is frustrating, because we were nearly there. Had there been another minute we might be celebrating victory. But that's boxing. It's a bittersweet and brutal sport, and we have been on the receiving end. We're due some serendipity and luck. Mark Hinton travelled to London with assistance from Duco Events. Stuff promoted, stories recommended by